Plenty of guys in Australia have problems. An article in the press today told how Aussie blokes are spending $1,500 to go on male-only retreats to tackle their toxic masculinity. Now, at these retreats, these guys get into ice baths, sit around fire circles discussing all of their vulnerabilities, crying with each other, and apparently this is supposed to help. Now, we may talk seriously about some of the issues men are facing in a moment, but this is not simply unique to Australia, that article from the Courier Mail, but check out this video of a similar men's retreat where the guys are just helping each other to connect with their real masculinity.
Tears cleaned my soul and I cried. Took a cup, fill it up with you, with all the joy and the sorrow and the fear. Oh, I let myself cry. Oh, I let...
I can't watch.
That retreat cost $10,000 to go on that, and completely lose all self-respect.
Can I just say, if I just paid $10,000 for that experience, I would be crying too. So I think a lot of
guys' backyard.
I think they call that buyer's remorse.
I mean, clearly there are issues with guys, right? I mean, the Australian Health Department recently reported 1 in 8 men in this country suffer depression at some point. When it comes to education with males, the labour market, addiction rates, there's lots of problems with guys, but I don't think they need to redefine masculinity. It'd be good if they rediscovered their masculinity.
That's got nothing to do with...
Here. Oh, my goodness. I mean... The amount of things that are now told to men, you must be this, you can't be that, and inevitably everything in the can't aisle is everything masculine. It's what women want. We want men to please be men. Don't hang out and cry together and sob and hold each other in some $10,000
Did you not find that attractive?
This... So repulsive and repugnant. There is
it looked like a Stanley Kubrick movie.
But there is genuinely the testosterone levels of men, look this up, has been decreasing over decades now. Because the stuff we have in our water, in our food, in our environment, this is something that has knowingly, willingly been done. And I genuinely believe it's because what governments fear more than anything is healthy testosterone-filled men. Because those guys aren't too busy to take on the establishment. Those guys are keeping a finger on the pulse. No, they are. And they take the fight to injustice and corruption.
The government is deliberately reducing the levels of testosterone.
Okay, why is it in our water? Why is it in our food? Why are men being fed things that have been shown through studies to reduce testosterone?
But the government isn't feeding people. The men are going out and buying this. They're feeding themselves. We can still do that.
Tested the strengths of men's handshakes these days.
But it's not the government. How is the government doing that? When was the last time you had someone from the government come around and start feeding your man?
Because we shouldn't have things in our water that are affecting testosterone levels. Do you not agree with that?
I do not know what is in the water affecting testosterone levels.
Okay, maybe you should look into
my wife is the one who does that in my house. But I just love it. Like,
Here's some other things we need to talk about, right? Firstly, this is in America, but it would be similar to Australia. 31% of boys grow up without a biological father. Mm-hmm. That's certainly contributing to troubles that males are having. And it seems to me these retreats, and I'm not making a direct parallel at all, but you used to go to church for self-reflection, for a sense of community, to talk to people about where you're at. Yep. These days we don't, and so we've got people doing stuff.
No, people
like
talk
this.
about that really seriously. They talk about what's called the third place, and this is something that they actually is come into this review of schools where you've got home, you've got schools / work when you're an adult, and then you used to have the third place, where it be church or it might be Boy Scouts, a community
sporting
group,
organisation,
a sporting team that you do, and that would give you your other sense of community. So the family didn't have to do everything, the school didn't have to do everything, and the church or whatever other organisation didn't have to do everything. But between those things, you got what you needed. And as we're going into a much more sort of secular society and where people, I suppose, are not participating in other community events as much,
you're more isolated
they're losing that.
because it's going online.
So it's a big problem for educators as well, because for example, suddenly the school is meant to do all the things that every other organisation.
Well, schools are basically parenting kids these days.
That's right.
Governments are making lunch in Queensland. They've just announced we're going to provide lunch for kids in. I mean, mum and dad used to do that. Now the schools are doing it.
That's right. But let's get back to the ice baths and fire circles.
Yes.
Can I just stress, right? This is a Courier Mail story, right?
Back to that, yeah.
This is a Courier Mail story.
Queensland.
Right? Queensland. This is Queensland men. These are Queenslanders who are paying $1,500.
Not North Queensland men.
For ice baths and
this is in the southeast corner, not in North Queensland.
If this is what's happening, if this is what's happening in Queensland, if this is what Queensland men are doing, imagine what the Victorians are up to.
Although, to be fair to the men, it's not just the men.